Imagine owning a creature that embodies the ultimate spirit of the wild, the wolf dog, an animal that is as majestic as it is mysterious. For Sandra Elpiofsen, the allure of wolf dogs was irresistible. These animals, a hybrid of wolf and domestic dog, fascinated her with their primal beauty, their raw power, and their untamed nature. But what she didn't fully grasp was the danger that came with attempting to tame such wildness, a danger that would ultimately lead to her tragic demise. Who was Sandra Elpiofsen, and what drove her to surround herself with these magnificent yet perilous creatures? How did the passion for wolf dogs spiral into a situation that would cost her her life? And more importantly, what lessons can we learn from her story about the risks of keeping wild animals as pets, especially those with the instincts of a predator? In today's video, we're diving into the harrowing story of Sandra Elpiofsen, a woman whose love for wolf dogs led her down a fatal path. This isn't just a tale of personal tragedy, it's also a powerful reminder of the delicate balance between humans and nature, a balance that can have devastating consequences when disturbed. By the end of the video, you'll see why some creatures, no matter how captivating, are best left in the wild where they belong. Sandra Elpiofsen wasn't just any animal lover. She had a deep fascination with creatures most would consider dangerous. Her particular obsession was with wolf dogs, an animal that carries both the DNA of wolves and domestic dogs. To Sandra, these represented a bridge between the civilized and the untamed, a living embodiment of the wild's allure. Sandra's journey into the world of wolf dogs began innocently enough. She was captivated by their beauty and mystique, often describing them as the perfect blend of wild and tame. Over the years, she acquired several of these hybrid animals, raising them on her property and dedicating much of her life to their care. She believed that with enough love and attention, she could tame the wild within them. But what Sandra didn't fully understand was that no amount of domestic care would erase the primal instincts embedded in their DNA. As time passed, the behavior of Sandra's wolf dogs began to change, in subtle yet unsettling ways. Neighbors reported eerie howls piercing the night and occasional sightings of the animals roaming freely. They seemed more restless and agitated. Despite these warning signs, Sandra remained confident in her ability to manage them, often dismissing concerns from friends and family, believing that her bond with the animals would keep her safe. The situation reached a tragic climax in 2006. On what seemed like an ordinary day, Sandra entered the enclosure where she kept her beloved wolf dogs. But this time, something was different. The animals, driven by instincts that had been simming beneath the surface, turned on her in a sudden and vicious attack. By the time the authorities arrived, it was too late. Sandra had succumbed to the injuries inflicted by the very creatures that she loved. The aftermath of Sandra's death was as shocking as the event itself. Her wolf dogs were euthanized, and the story sent shockwaves through the community and beyond. It was a grim reminder of the unpredictability of wild animals, even those raised in captivity. Her story serves as a poignant and tragic example of the dangers that come with attempting to domesticate inherently wild creatures. Her untimely death underscores the importance of respecting the boundaries between humans and nature, reminding us that some animals are simply not meant to be pets. While Sandra Elpiofsen's story is tragic, it's unfortunately not unique. Across the world, there are numerous cases where wild animals raised in captivity have caused harm to their owners or others around them. The allure of owning exotic creatures often blinds people to the reality of these animals, that despite their beauty and intrigue, they're not meant for domestic life. Owning a wild animal may seem like a thrilling adventure, but the consequences can be quite devastating. Wolf dogs, like the ones Sandra kept, are a prime example of the challenges and dangers associated with attempting to domesticate wild animals. While they may carry some domestic dog traits, their wolf DNA gives them instincts that are hardwired for survival in the wild. These instincts include pack behavior, territoriality, and sometimes aggression. Traits that can become unpredictable in a household setting, no matter how well they are trained and cared for. Their need for wide open spaces and complex social interactions simply can't be met in a typical home environment. Experts in animal behavior have long warned against the domestication of wild animals for this very reason. Wild creatures, even those bred in captivity, retain many of their natural behaviors. The complexity of their social structures and their need for vast spaces to roam cannot be fulfilled in most home environments. Without these outlets, animals like wolf dogs can become stressed, anxious, and potentially aggressive. They struggle to cope with the unnatural confinement of domestic life. Sandra's tragic encounter is just one of the many instances where human fascination with wild animals has led to dangerous outcomes. There have been other high-profile cases involving big cats, primates, and even smaller creatures like reptiles, where the inherent wilderness of the animal ultimately resulted in harm to humans who tried to tame them. While some exotic pet owners may argue that they understand their animals deeply, the truth is that no amount of care or affection can fully erase an animal's natural instincts. The broader lesson from Sandra Piovson's story and similar incidents is quite clear. Wild animals belong in the wild. Whether it's a wolf dog, a tiger, or a chimpanzee, these creatures are built to thrive in their natural habitats, not in backyards or in living rooms. When humans try to impose domestic life on them, it often leads to tragic consequences, for both the animals and the people involved. The thing we must understand is that these animals live in the wild naturally, and generally, given the choice, they would still be in the wild, no matter how much this owner cares for them. So respecting the wildness of these creatures is not only the safest choice, but it's also the most humane. Sandra's story is a sobering reminder of the fine line between humans and the wild. While exotic animals like wolf dogs may seem captivating, their wild instincts are never fully tamed, no matter how much care they receive. If you found this story insightful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content on our relationship with nature, and share the video to spread awareness about the dangers of keeping wild animals as pets.